Because I think that's what I get hung up on is that, yes, I do know that I can heal. And I do know that my thoughts attract. And then
the word heal is a little bit like the word gratitude that we were talking about earlier in this sense. When you say, I'm going to heal, you're looking right at what you're trying to overcome. Yeah. So every moment you try to heal, you're activating the resistance that you're trying to overcome. You've got to look forward. This is an appreciating, moving forward into who you really are, you see. Do you know that if you hadn't become this, then not being it wouldn't make you sick? How about that?
Say that again.
We would really try to get our thoughts wrapped around that. We'll say it until you hear it. If you hadn't become this vibrationally, then not letting yourself be it wouldn't be making you sick. In other words, if you only wanted this much and didn't go, you'd have a cold. If you only wanted this much and didn't let yourself be it, you'd stub your toe and you'd get a wart and you'd be fat. But when you want this much and you don't let yourself be it, now there's more drama. Yes. You see. But it's still just not letting yourself be it by letting people around you and circumstances train you, you see.
Okay. Another thing is, would it be better for me to visualize or just to try to allow and focus myself into?
Well, the thing is, if what you want to do is get in the vortex any way you can, and then maintain your staying in there any way you can. So sometimes it means visualization, but mostly it means getting your attention off of it. You see, what happens is once a manifestation shows itself to you and you are giving your attention to it, it's hard for you to get your thoughts off of it. And so when we say you got to ignore the indicator and just focus upon the things that make you feel. So we're just going to ask you some questions. What subjects come up most often on a regular basis that make you feel uncomfortable when you hear them? What do you argue with the television about? Or what do you argue with the people in your life about? What are the arguments or the unpleasant discussions that you have usually about? That's really a good way of putting this.
Yeah.
What kinds of things are you arguing about?
Injustice, things that appear to be unfair, being mistreated, not being heard.
Feel how big that is.
Yeah.
Feel how big that is, because that goes right to the core of freedom and well-being. So what are some recent conversations that you've had about injustice?
Mostly at work. Politics in general, just how it's corporate, how they don't really care so much about the people, they care more about money.
Well, they better care about money.
But it's like we're the little people. We work directly with patients, and they don't seem to care so much.
Well, that may or may not be true, but it's making you sick to think it.
Yeah, and I know that.
You see, whether it's true or not. So what happens is you're arguing for justice and sacrificing your well-being for it because you can't control them.
Right.
So you got to stop trying to control the uncontrollable and control something that is controllable. And what is controllable is the way you feel. What's controllable is the way you feel, because what's controllable is the direction of your thoughts. You're not going to change that industry.
Right.
You see. And railing against the injustices, look where that gets you. And we're not kidding you. It's stuff not bigger than that is at the heart of this discord. But it's big stuff, isn't it? Because when you feel taken advantage of, you feel taken advantage of.
They're beginning to micromanage more and more. So every day, someone, an authority, will come in and say, "We're changing this, and you have to do it this way." And so you're losing your freedom. Actually.
So do you think in their micromanaging, do you think that they are determined to destroy the business, or do you think that they're trying to make it better?
They're trying to make it better.
They're trying to make it better. They just don't know. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So you're assuming that from your position, you know what's better for you and what's around you than them who are not there doing it. So do you think that in the same way that they are micromanaging, that you are micromanaging their micromanaging?
Absolutely.
And in other words, this is what we've been trying to demonstrate. So they behave whatever way they behave based upon the bad statistics that they're getting. So they come in and they micromanage, and then you observe them. So you come out of your vortex to complain with them. So now you're all out there micromanaging. We think this is the perfect label for what goes on outside the vortex. Mini managing, inaccurate, inadequate, minuscule managing. Let's put all the M words on it. Microscopic, minuscule, micromanaging. Out of the vortex managing. Out of the vortex managing. And you're all mad at each other because you're out of the vortex. So there you are, out of the vortex, looking at this stuff like it's real. And using it as your excuse to be out of the vortex. Yeah. Well, if we would stop micromanaging, we would get hold of the manager of the universe. We would get hold of the resource of source. We'd get in there where all of the leverage is and all of the power is. We'd get into the vortex. And do you know what happens? When you're in the vortex watching micromanagers, they just look cute to you. They do. They look cute. Oh, isn't that cute the way he does? He thinks that's going to make something happen. But when you're out there with him, that it feels threatening to you because you're on the same playing field, you see.
Absolutely.
So if you hadn't through life put yourself so predominantly here, then being out there with them wouldn't bother you so much. But we think you can hear that clearly. In other words, there is nothing that goes on at your work on a regular basis that is deserving of your out of the vortex attention. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, the conversation that we would have with ourselves when that goes on is when you feel the injustice and when you feel the outrage and the rage, we would stop in the middle of that feeling and say, oh, there it is. I'm doing that thing I do. I'm letting them get to me. I focused upon them and I dragged myself out of the vortex. And that's the reason that my physical body is not doing so well. Don't think this is worth it. Don't think I can fix it. The more I wallow in it, the more I hang around out here, the worse we're all going to feel. And the further I'm going to be from who I really am. I got to let this go. 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 So now, let's do a focus wheel. So make your statement of injustice. Now, it's going to feel punier now that we've chewed this over. But make your statement of injustice. They don't know what they're doing, and they're trying to tell us what to do.
Yeah, and they contradict themselves.
And because they don't know what they're doing, there's no consistency in what they do. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, and they have no business in my life doing it. How's that? They don't know what they're doing. They're stupid, and they're messing up my life. They're stupid, and they're messing up my life. So that's pretty much how you and apparently others feel. They're stupid, and they're messing up my life. Now, what do you think's on the other end of that? What's on the other end of that? In other words, if you are at the place that you are labeling someone unbelievably unwise, what's on the other end of that? What does who you really are want to see? I love seeing the wisdom and clarity in others. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? That's why their behavior is so annoying, is because they behave in ways that make you feel about them ways that the source within you would never feel. Can you feel the headway that we are making here? The source within you knows their true power, but they're too stupid to find it. But feel that. In other words, I want to know their wisdom. I want to rendezvous with the clarity of others, not with the idiocy of others. Absolutely. I want to rendezvous with their clarity. Isn't it interesting, knowing what you know, when you hook up with somebody who's misbehaving, do you know that what it means? You got that vibration active within you. So I want to rendezvous with the wisdom of others. So there it is in the center. Now, what do you know that matches that? What do you already believe that matches that there is wisdom there? They've brought this company together. They are at the basis of something that is very big. They must have had something going on to get this going. Yeah. I work for them. They don't work for me. There must be something going on here. When I came here,
countless people.
Say again?
They've helped a lot of people as well.
You believe that, don't you?
Yeah.
There is value going on. And I like this opportunity to see where I'm at with my own vibration. And I'm not going to anymore ask anybody else to be how I think they need to be so that I can feel good. I'm going to take back my power. And I'm going to see the best in them. And I'm going to get in my vortex. And I'm going to inspire the best from them. And I'm going to be so good at what I do that they'll feel the clarity of me rather than the discord of me. They'll feel the clarity of me, and they may very well even ask me what I know. Why are you so strong about this? I may get to be a new policy setter because I know that me and others like me, we've worked around to some things that really work well. There's no reason for us to be at odds with each other. We're on the same team. I love being a vibrational match to who I am, and I love letting the value of who I am spread outward. I'm looking forward to improving this company from the inside out. I'm looking forward to adding value to what I'm doing here from the inside out. And I'm looking so forward to using them as my excuse to come into alignment, or at least not using them or anyone as my excuse to be out of alignment. I just took back my power. And your vibration shifts significantly. And so will the vibrational indicator. Good time for a segment of refreshment.
Thank you.